Welcome to Take It from the Iron Woman. My name is Susanne Müller, your host and the Iron Woman. This podcast is about empowering yourself and others to make real changes in the world. You will hear from everyday, smart, sophisticated, hip people like you and me. Not everybody has to be an Iron Woman to impress the world. Together, we will learn from the sports and business leaders how you can become a more successful person as an entrepreneur or a leader. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. Take your steps now. Take your big steps now. Join me on this journey to success. Take it from the Iron Woman. Again, we have a special guest, Renee, with us. And before we introduce Renee, I want to make sure you get loopy. You get 20% discount if you order the bites for the first time. So welcome, Renee. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Susan. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I'm excited to speak to you and share some stories with you. I'm a running coach. I've been doing running coaching for over 17 years, working with people from across the age spectrum. I'm very fortunate to work with youth, team athletics, adults, as well as older adults for running and fitness.
That sounds interesting. So people from all ages. Can we still ask you which is your favorite age group or which is your favorite group that you work with?
That's a loaded question. and I would honestly say that each group is its own joy and its own challenge, to be honest. What's interesting is how similar they can all be. When I'm seeing, like one day I can see private adult clients in the morning, my older adults in the mid-morning, and then high school cross-country track team in the afternoon. So I think that for me, my position in this is how do I help people? I feel like I'm just the guide to try to steer people towards their goals in terms of like athletic betterment. And sometimes it's taking risks. It could be something like that. And so that those types of goals really reach across all of the age spectrums. And it's a challenge. It's fun. It could be frustrating sometimes for all of them because they're present. So they've already made this decision that they want to make some change. And it's exciting. And
17 years is a long time. So I'm sure you have many great stories. And I know we met running coaching. So that's exciting. So maybe let's go into your running history a little bit. How did you get into running?
I got into running when I was still working as a fashion designer many, many years ago. I got a new job, which was a more senior position, and I was not able to get to the gym for my favorite gym class, but I needed another cardio type of workout. And running is something that's portable. It's something that I could do when I was traveling overseas in Asia, just, hop on the treadmill there, and I would still be able to keep in shape and not be tied down necessarily to a particular class at a particular time. So it sort of put me in charge.
Oh, that's cool. So, yeah. And then you found the running class like me every Tuesday, every Thursday we would meet. These were the days.
Yes.
This got us into the racing. So let's talk a little bit about marathon races. How many have you done so far?
I've done 17 marathons. There was a point where I was doing 2 a year, but now I sort of dialed it back a little bit. But 17 marathons. I've done 4 Boston marathons. At this point, Boston is the one I've done the most, strangely enough. 3 New Yorks, 1 Chicago, 2 Phillies. So yes, definitely many adventures, both training and on the roads racing for sure.
And I ask everybody who is on my marathon podcast, which one was your favorite? I'm wondering, which one is yours?
So I would have to say, certainly each one, again, it is an adventure, but I would have to think back to 2006 when I raced Chicago, which is my hometown. I was gunning for Boston qualifying time, which became my sort of holy grail goal for more recent years. So 2006, I trained for Chicago. when I was on that race course, I'm from the city and I knew what the course was going to be, but I didn't realize until I was actually running that I ran past my grade school. I ran past a lot of the places where I had spent a good chunk of my childhood, and just thinking as a kid who was not athletic, who used to try to get the doctor's notes to get out of, PE or doing anything active or athletic, I just felt like, wow, like now I'm able to take chances, and here I am, and like everything was rushing past me. It was amazing. I was focused. I did hit my time, and it was just absolutely incredible experience at the end. So very gratifying, definitely, to be in my hometown for that was like unbelievable. 2006.
Cool. So you hit the runner's high. A lot of people ask me, what is this, the runner's high in your hometown and running by your school? So I think these are great memories. And even if we were not super sportive in our early years, look at us now. That can change.
Definitely.
You became a running coach. It feels like you have met many people. So over the years, what tips could you give other people if they want to start running or just being active? I mean, we heard from you there was no gym. Obviously, in our today's time with COVID-19, we cannot go to the gym. So what tips could you give to people if they cannot go to the gym at the moment?
Well, for right now, people who, yes, you can't go to the gym. Even I have to be perfectly honest and say I'm sort of struggling to stay motivated on the sort of strength front. Also, I'm in an apartment with my husband and my son, and we're all kind of here together. But I think that it's good to kind of keep your body strong, just like you want to keep your mind strong. Take the mat out. I was looking for new workouts, even though coaching is what I do. I always try to find something fresh. And if it's too hard, I modify it. My feeling for right now is to kind of keep things ticking over. During this COVID time might not be the time to be pressing out your fastest hill repeats or the most squats or anything like that, but just to sort of keep your health at a level that is good and your mind healthy, and just keep consistency. I think that is an important thing, not to sort of slide into stagnation or entropy, so to speak. And I think if you keep that in front of you, and everybody knows, after you're done, you feel a lot better. So as far as doing exercise at home, I would say if you do something that's a shortened version or an abbreviated version, that is okay, as long as you do it consistently. 2 times a week could be fine for some people. I think the main thing is to get moving. As far with regard to running, you asked about running. Certainly now it kind of depends where you are. Where I am in Hoboken, New Jersey, I'm running covered up. So I wear a running buff over my nose and mouth. It's not the greatest feeling. In order to stay safe, obviously we have to observe social distancing as well as being covered up. However, it's outstanding, and you can't stop spraying. There are so many reasons to stay active for your health and to enjoy as best you can. And even if you're not able to get out, just for your own physical and mental health, I think it's really whatever you can do. It's so important to stay active and allow yourself the option to dial it down, to regress the movements or to regress how much you do. If you normally do 4 times something, 2 times it's really okay. If you're not feeling it, it's fine. Just do something and try to do it consistently.
Thank you. That's really great advice. We said COVID-19, so I'm assuming everything has changed for you. How many meetings on Zoom do you have, or how do you communicate with your clients or even with your school classes or the elderly population?
Well, it's fun. The Zoom thing was definitely very new to me. I was extremely nervous, very, very nervous about, speaking to the screen and how for the team that I'm coaching, an outdoor track team, my colleagues, some of them also new to Zoom, some of them not. With the high school kids, I felt more like I had to reach out. We have 70 kids on the team, so you really do have to make sure that they know you're watching them. And if we're doing a group activity, I try to call out, hey, great job. Adam, great job, Talia, so they know that I'm paying attention, and they know that it's not just like it's a blur on the screen. So I try to make a point to do that in person too, but I think it's so much more when you are using the Zoom platform. I think like the person who's hosting or facilitating really has to work hard to make sure that the person on the other end is not just like drifting off and that they stay engaged. I work for the New York Roadrunners right now for their older adult group called the Striders. And right now we're working on a really interesting project called Striders at Home. Normally there are walks that take place twice a week across the 5 boroughs. And I am the lead coach on one of those walks that takes place at Engineers Gate in Central Park. So obviously now we can't meet. So in the interim, we're developing a website which will feature the coaches using workouts that we wrote. I wrote workouts, and we also shot our own video, which was another exciting. So there's been a big learning curve for us, and it's exciting to think we can not only reach our constituency that we've been working with in person for so many years now, but also potentially reach more people. The older adult population is one it's growing, and there's so much work to be done there. So that's been really, really exciting for me. And then in terms of clients, I have a couple of clients right now that are I've worked with in person, but right now they're at the Jersey Shore and they're second houses, and so they're not together. It's separate people, but there I think that remote coaching over email, again, you have to work a little harder than you would in person. You have to sort of tease out the nuances, what's happening with the person on the other end. If they say, Renee, I didn't get to the workout this week, I want to find out why that is. If it's something they're not comfortable with, or if work got in the way, or they're just not up to it, like what do I have to do? My job is to find out what's happening with them so that they feel like it's okay. So it really depends on the individual, because consistency is what we're after, obviously, in order to have a health effect. So I really work hard with each and every person, whether it's private client, my older adult group, and that's an enormous group. Also, it's like close to 100 people on my entire list. So it's a lot of people. And the track team, as I said, is 70 kids. But I really, really work hard and try to know each and every person and understand what is the thing, what are the barriers, if any, like to doing something that would benefit their health. And I think it's time consuming, but so well worth it, because when that person or those people take the risks and they're able to see that they can be active, they can take a chance, they can do it, it feels good, it's okay. They understand they can maybe push past their limits or know what their limits are. It's like self-knowledge. Again, I'm the guide here, but it's a great feeling when they come back and they say, hey, coach, I did it. I can't believe it. Thank you so much. I'm the facilitator. That's my role.
I have seen you in action, and I know a lot of people come to you and say, thank you, coach, because we all know we need to push ourselves and the other people in order for them to get healthier, happier, and faster. So thank you for all those insights. Thank you, Renee, and good luck, whatever it will take us, but good luck with everything. And thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Susan. Thanks a lot.
This podcast is being sponsored by Get Loopy. On episode 41, you can hear the story of Isabel, the co-founder and CEO. Get Loopy, get a 20% discount off your first order. getloopy.com. Thank you so much, Renee, for all your insights. Certainly, you are an expert in showing the elderly population how to stay active. Take it from the Iron Woman. We have episodes every Monday, every Wednesday. Check it out, like us, write a review. Thank you so much.